Honey, your favorite pie is ready. Let's eat. Madison's voice was so sweet, you'd never guess she'd been chatting on her laptop with some guy named Daniel Lopashechka just 30 minutes ago. You'd think she'd spent her whole life baking pies and praying for my health. I stood at the door, fists clenched so tight my nails dug into my palms, and my legs felt like they were on fire thanks to the varicose veins I'd earned while building this damn house for us. But her. She was grinning like nothing had happened. You can have dinner with your next boyfriend, I said, forcing the words out through gritted teeth. I think I'll grab a bite at the cafe. The food is mediocre, but at least there are no lying wives. Her eyes went wide, not from guilt, but from indignation. What are you talking about? She asked in the fakest innocent tone. I didn't bother to respond. I just turned and walked out, slamming the door so hard the windows rattled. Yes, if someone had told me at the age of 25 that Hudson, a construction site foreman with an empty wallet and perpetually dusty hair, would end up divorced because of an accountant with a child, I would have laughed in his face. But then Madison burst into my life like a hurricane, cheerful, blue-eyed, with a walk that made men stop and stare at her. We worked in the same office. I was the head of the group, and she counted other people's money, that is, she was an accountant. We met in the smoking room. She took a drag, looked at me through the smoke and said, I can tell you're not the kind of guy who's afraid of challenges. I'm not someone who just blows smoke, I retorted. A month later, she and her daughter moved into my rented room. We talked about our dream home. As a builder, I thought, why not? I'll build it. So I spent 3 years hauling bricks, digging trenches, pouring concrete after hours. And Madison. Well, she was my inspiration. She'd tell me I was a hero, that everything would work out. When the house was finally finished, I bought a ring. So you ready to be my wife? I asked her in the kitchen while she was chopping up a salad. I'll think about it, she laughed, but a second later she was throwing herself around my neck. We kept the wedding small, all the money went into the house. I was happy. Then came the health problems. Varicose veins. The doctors were baffled, saying I was too young for my legs to look like they belonged to an old man. At first Madison took care of me, but then she started disappearing. I'm just going to see a friend, she'd say, getting dressed up like she was going on a date. Do you have a Facebook profile? I asked her one day, noticing that she had become more active on social media. Yeah, I chat with Eleanor there, she replied. But the day I checked her laptop and saw dating site tabs open, my world came crashing down. After I left, I stumbled into the first cafe I found and got as drunk as I could. The next thing I knew, I woke up in the hospital. Ev's doctors and shame. Not exactly the ideal wake-up call. The divorce was quick. The house was left to me fortunately. I built it before we got married. The daughter stayed with her mother. 2 years later, I found out that Madison had been in an accident. Her new prince was drunk driving. I took her daughter in to raise, the only memory of her. I didn't gloat. I guess the boomerang really does come back. Now I live alone. My legs still hurt, but at least I have peace of mind. And to anyone who thinks they can play with someone else's heart like it's a toy, I've got one thing to say: build your life so that you don't have to tear it down piece by piece. Otherwise it'll collapse on its own. And you will be lucky if it doesn't to crush you.